Hey, it's Irreverent Aegis here, coming to you with my Pug Saver Crow build, specifically for the Fang Lair hard mode. This modified Pug Saver build is particularly useful in this hard mode because people tend to die a lot from the ghost walls, so I'll be generating ultimates so rapidly that I should always have a resurrection ultimate either ready or available right around the corner. This build utilizes the set's Eternal Yokita, which gives 100 ultimate instantly and heals you for quite a bit when you drop below a certain amount of health, and Akaveri Dragon Guard, which reduces the cost of ultimates by 15%. I also use the Monster Helm Bloodspawn, because when you take damage you have a chance of generating quite a bit of ultimate. One of the most important skills on the front bar is going to be Agony Totem. That's going to put out essentially a fear totem that fears every 2 seconds. You drop it, you roll dodge away, those scarabs spawn, and they're feared. It allows you to escape very rapidly, and it keeps fearing, so you don't need to drop it at a certain time or another. Spirit Guardian, a little bit of heal, and reduces your damage by 10%, and Glacial Colossus on the front bar for some extra damage if needed. Heroic Slash is going to be on your back bar with your sword and board, as you're going to be able to get minor heroism pretty much at all times, increasing the amount of ultimate you can generate. I also have Mortal Coil on my bar for some extra stamina, as well as some extra healing when I'm on my back bar, and of course Necrotic Potency, one of my favorite Necromancer skills. You generate 6 ultimate anytime you suck up a corpse. And then of course we have Renewing Animation, the ultimate that is super important and that this build revolves around. For a more detailed analysis of the Pug Saver Crow, feel free to check out my build video for it. Alright, let's get into the footage of the actual fight. I'm actually going to drop my ultimate right away, not because I need to for any reason, but because I want to show you how quickly this build generates ultimate. The other thing that I want to point out, it's actually better in my experience to main an Ice Staff and back bar a sword and board for this fight. The reason is you use a lot of stamina throughout this fight, so maining an Ice Staff is really going to help you keep your stamina up as you'll be blocking with Magicka, so you have plenty of stamina left to roll dodge and to sprint. It also helps with the Magicka recovery because you're basically just going to be heavy attacking Thorvakun the entire time, because you don't really need to do damage quickly in this beginning phase, so you don't really need to apply Major Breach and Fracture or anything like that. So we're just going to keep heavy attacking. It restores resources, it taunts, and it gives you a little bit of a damage shield as well. One thing I want to point out is that it only took about 45 seconds for me to get enough ultimate to generate another Colossus. I'm going to drop it here because my group actually asked for a little bit of help because the ads got a little out of control because we didn't focus on the crystals properly in the beginning. So I dropped my ultimate there, and you can see I'm already generating it pretty rapidly. One thing that I want to point out, I'm going to get a growing AoE under my feet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to roll dodge and drop an Agony Totem. The Agony Totem is going to fear those scarabs, so I don't really need to worry about them applying that Major Defile to me. So I can just drop that and then go on my way running around and taunting the boss with heavy attacks. You can see I'm already over 150 ultimate. I got the Necrotic Potency, I'm hitting it with Heroic Slash. So again, generating ultimate very rapidly, and there you go, I have another ultimate. You saw I dropped my Fear Totem, those scarabs are feared. That makes this really, really easy. So I'm just going around here, reapplying Heroic Slash, sucking up enemies with Necrotic Potency, and heavy attacking. So we're just going to watch this fight progress from here. The important thing is I just keep moving, I keep taunting, I keep building ultimate. I already have enough for an insta-res here, so at this point generating more ultimate is kind of useless, but oh well. So my group here is finishing up the last crystal. We're about to get the phase where we get the Ghost Wolf. That happens at 45%. A pro tip for you during the Ghost Wall phase, if you are tanking, is to always take Thorvakun away from where the shield goes up. The reason why is Thorvakun is going to put those big poison circles on the ground, and the worst thing you can do is put a poison circle where the boss is. So always run over last. Make sure Thorvakun drops the poison circles away from your group, and then run and hide behind behind the shield. So important here is always be aware of that growing AoE under your feet so that you can drop your agony totem. I do tend to ask my group if it's during the wall phase to kill those things for me rapidly, because I can't kill them rapidly. So it's actually a little bit better if they do that instead while we're waiting for the wall to come. Again, this fight doesn't need to be fast for any reason, especially during this phase. So we are around 20%, so this is going to go pretty quickly to get him to 0. Of course, at 0, he does regenerate to about 50%. So my group is going to drop, I do have another necro in the group, they were going to drop a Colossus and a Warhorn for extra damage as soon as the boss regenerates health, because we want that early burn, because this fight goes a lot better during the second phase if we can burn him to execute more rapidly. So the second phase has started now, so now we get the fractured ghost walls. The most important thing here is to always locate the ghost wall. If you stay in the center of the map, that gives you the most time to find the ghost walls and not get hit by them. One thing you'll notice is I always like to spin my camera to see when the ghost wall is about to end, so as it goes into the final wall. That way, once it goes, I can spin my camera around really fast and locate the next fractured wall. You'll see here that another one of my group members is about to die, so when he goes down, I'm going to run over there and drop my res ultimate so I can res both of them. That's the last time that I'll actually need to use an ultimate during this fight, because my group actually did a really good job. I think there was only one other death, but at that point, we already got a slow res off, so we didn't really need another res ultimate. I just like to keep it on hand and available in case multiple people die at the same time. During that phase, when the fear happens, it does remove any ghosts. We do like to designate quadrants very often, so that way we don't overlap, or nobody steals mine, since, you know, I'm the most important in this group, with the res ultimate being the tank, obviously. But in case you don't do that, having the good situational awareness for everyone in the group is important, so everyone is able to grab one of those golden circles so they don't die. As this video finishes up, I do want to go over your priorities as a tank. First and foremost, you always need to know where those ghost walls are, because they will one-shot anybody. So again, always know where the ghost walls are. Always go to the center of the map whenever possible, so you can have the most time to dodge the wall and find the gap. And then as soon as the ghost wall reaches the end wall, you can spin your camera around really rapidly to locate the next one, so you always know where you're going. Your second priority is making sure that you pay attention to the growing AoE under your feet for the scarabs, because when that happens, that's often going to kill you because it's a big amount of damage when they spawn, and it's a large amount of damage because you get defiled when they touch you. So, as a necro tank, that fear totem, roll dodging and putting out that fear totem is going to save you quite a bit. Those two things are going to kill you the most, the walls and the scarab spawns. Third priority, and this is the lowest priority, it is actually taunting the bone colossuses. Frees up your DPS to do a little more DPS and be a little more comfortable. They don't need to roll dodge as much, even though the bone colossus's heavy attack is telegraphed. As soon as its hand goes over its head, that's when you roll dodge, but still, allow your DPS to do DPS. So that's pretty much the fight. I hope you got a lot out of this one.